Hi everybody, I'm Debbie Hoyt and I'm the instructor for this course which is Introduction to Psychology. I just wanted to take a little bit of time to welcome you to the course, go over some questions that I've always received in the past, and to also discuss my expectations of myself and to talk about the expectations I have for you as a student as we get started in this course. So as I said, this is an introduction course. A lot of people, um, think psychology, we're going to get really in depth in a lot of different areas. And unfortunately, with only 15 weeks together and a lot of concepts that we have to get through, this is an introduction course. So my goal is to give you the information you need about a lot of different aspects of psychology. So when we get through and you're like, oh, I wish I had more information on development. If you're an educator, you may be interested in early childhood development. If you're a nurse, you might be interested in development across the lifespan. If you're going into the counseling field, you might be more interested in either therapies or abnormal psychology. Please understand that as we go through this course, we unfortunately, to get through everything, don't have the time to spend a lot of time on those specific areas. However, as you go through this course, this is to give you some very basic fundamentals of psychology. And afterwards, you have access to classes that are more specific. So there is early childhood development, there's a development across the lifespan, there's an abnormal psychology course. All of those do go into more depth. So if you are interested, definitely look into those so that way you have that information. But I hope you do understand that this is an introduction course. So we're getting through a lot of concepts very quickly. The second thing I wanted to talk about was another question that I get, and some people are bothered. As you can see when you look through the syllabus, you may not have, you probably noticed the dates. Hopefully you've read through that and you see the dates. You may not have looked at the fact that the assignments are due on different days. I do keep the different days consistent. So I believe the assignments are due on Wednesdays and Fridays. Don't quote me on that, please. Go by the dates. I didn't look before I started this video. But there's a reason why I don't have things due, say, every Sunday. Going through my own classes as an undergraduate, I can remember professors would have things due once a week, and you go through very quickly, and some of the assignments were similar, but just a little bit different, and you get some information about this, and then we'll do that, and then you jump on to the next thing. I have built this class so that the assignments build upon the previous assignment. So we start off with psychobiology, we go into perception, how does psychobiology and perception impact our development, so on and so forth. So when we get to the last assignment, social psychology, we're looking at all of these different aspects of psychology, putting them all together in order to solve the problem that I have as the assignment for social psychology. So instead of doing a lot of quick assignments where you're kind of basically working to get things done, because I know we all have lives outside of school, and for many people you are working, I really want to make sure that you get a very good grasp on these fundamental concepts for each assignment. So instead of doing everything week by week, I give you about 10 days between. And I'll talk a little bit about how I build the courses and what happens in those 10 days. But that is why there's no consistent, like it's not due on a weekly basis and whatnot. I want you to be able to have the time to participate on the discussion boards and to do your research and really understand these concepts. So what will happen is right around the due date for an assignment. So just for an example, September 13th, assignment 2, psychobiology, is due. So about September 10th, 11th, 12th, somewhere around there, I will actually post ahead the information about assignment 3, which is about perception. So if you go in the discussion board right now, it's pretty empty. You have access to all of the assignments. You can start working on those assignments at any time. However, I wouldn't work too far ahead, because when I post those announcements per assignment, they're not so much weekly. But when I post those announcements by the assignment, I give you the core concepts that I'm going to be looking for you to understand. And there's multiple ways that you can show how you meet those competencies. My job as your instructor is I'm going to give you a problem. One of the problems that I give you is your assignment. Easy enough. Another thing that will happen is each week, when I post those announcements, you're also going to be on the discussion board, and I am going to also post other aspects that we can discuss together as a group. There may be videos for you to watch. It may be like just a question that I have that's going on in society. It may even be kind of a fun assignment that is listed in the book. So those are all ways that you could show that you have an understanding of the concepts for this class. So those are ways that you can do that. So it's not just through the assignments. So I take everything into consideration. The due date comes September 13th. The due date comes for assignment 2. After that date, I start looking at all that information that you've completed up to that date and start grading you. So your job as a student, so you can complete just the assignment. You can do just that, and that's fine. There's plenty of people who do pretty well in class and complete just that. I'm giving you many opportunities in a variety of different ways to show that you have a comprehensive understanding of all these concepts. So I give you the problem as the instructor. Your job as the student is to kind of identify the problem and identify the information that you need in order to solve that problem. So that includes doing your research. What are the resources you have available to you? I know a lot of people, oh, it's an online class, I'm going to use just the internet. Let's try to relate this to the real world, because everything that I'm giving you relates to the real world. Internet is a great place to get information, but what are some other places that you can gather information? In talking to people, if you work in a school, talk to other teachers, talk to the counselors. You work in a nursing home, talk to a doctor or another nurse there. You're going to kind of develop solutions, and that's part of your answer. But I really want you to be analytical with that information. So when you're giving your answers, really be analytical. You can say, I think this or I believe that. That's great, because I don't want to say there's no right or wrong answers in psychology, because there definitely are. But, if you walked into a doctor and a doctor said, yep, you have, the flu, and you feel absolutely fine, you're going to say, like, based on what? So you're going to want to include research. So if you believe something, if you have a perception about something, if you have an opinion about something, have that. That is okay to have. However, it's going to be very important that you back up your opinion, your belief, your perspective with outside research to show that you know what you're talking about. It's not just, oh, I think this. I believe this because according to blah, blah, blah. And then all in all, you're going to develop some sort of presentation. Things that I post on a weekly basis are probably just going to be discussion boards that we discuss back and forth. When we're talking about our assignments and creating a presentation, I'm giving you guys a different format. As you will see, that I'm pretty open. Whatever you need to do to show me the core competencies is fine. So for the assignments, most people write papers. Most people write research papers because for most people, that's the easiest way to answer the questions that I have. If you are a person who can't write and you would rather talk, create a video. If you're a person that doesn't write very well, but you love to create PowerPoints or, I forgot those, like SlideShare, or there's another thing that I'm forgetting about. That's okay. If you could create a presentation, create a presentation. I find myself more as a coach, more as a facilitator than I do like I'm going to lead you around. This is an online course, so we're not on at the same time. So I'm not so much going to be giving the answers, which is why it's important for you guys when you have questions to post them on the discussion board. Lots of people can come back, answer the questions, give you different feedback, and you have different perspectives because my perspective, especially in the field of psychology, may be very different from someone else's, and that is fine. So, in the syllabus, you'll see that I really use problem-based learning because I do. When you're kind of solving it, most people love to do final projects because you get to be creative and you get to do what you want and you're researching it. And that's pretty much what I want you to be able to do too, is I want you to be interested in the subject matter, to be passionate, for lack of a better word about it. I know not everybody's passionate like I am about psychology, but that's okay. But I want you to think of different ways, and there is no quote unquote just one right answer. Maybe that's what it is. There's no one right answer. We'll see that as we go through these, people may research similar topics or the same exact topic, but have very different perspectives of the topic, which is okay because I really want people to be thinking critically and creatively throughout this course. So the assignments is one way to do it. I've posted this in the syllabus, and I believe I've already posted an announcement on this. Post your assignments early. I do not give extra credit at the end of the semester. I'm telling you that now, because you can redo your work. Your job as the student is to participate on the discussion board. So participate in those questions that I post. Watch those videos and have comments about it. If you see your classmates posting their work early, read it. Ask them questions. That shows me that you're thinking critically as well. When your classmates ask you questions, answer them, because all of that information I take into consideration when I'm posting your final grade. So there's multiple ways to improve your grade. You post your work early, you get feedback. Everything, I do not do any grading until the due date. So whatever you have posted on, say, assignment 2, due September 13th, whatever you have posted on September 13th, that's the cutoff date. And that's when I start looking at things and taking all of this information into consideration. So maybe you don't do so well on the paper, you flub it up, you try to do something different, it doesn't work out. Happens to all of us. But I see that people asked you questions and you answered them really well, or you participated in a discussion board and you had some really thoughtful answers. You watched the video and you were asking some questions and answering questions and being part of a discussion. All of those are ways to help improve your grade. You can post until 11:59 on the due date. You post just your assignment at 11:59 on the due date, that's fine. That's ultimately your choice as the student. But don't come and email me, come December and say, oh, I didn't do so well. I need 2 more points. Is there any extra credit I can do? No, because I do let you redo your work. I let you improve your work as long as you do the work prior to that due date. So that is just something to think about when I post that information, when I post the assignments. I give you the information, I give you the problems, and then that is your job as the students to participate. So that's, again, another reason why, instead of doing this every 5 to 7 days, why I have 10 to 12 days, because there is a lot going on. And I want you to have time to think about the questions, maybe research the questions, and then provide your responses, and have some sort of discussions, because research shows that students learn more and retain more when they're active in their learning. Unfortunately, online classes, I don't have us all come on at the same time, so we have to really do this in a written format. Please remember, outside sources are required in your assignments. If you include them in some of the forums, I mean, some of the forums are just going to be personal opinions and, hey, let's watch this video and let's talk about it. There may not be opportunities to have outside research included. If you do, that's great. Your assignments, all nine assignments, outside sources are required. It may seem from a personal perspective. That's fine. Have your personal opinion perspective. Include outside research to back up what you're thinking and feeling. So each week with those announcements, I'll probably be posting some videos as well. Just kind of giving you a verbal overview of the assignments. I don't sit here and lecture for hours because I know you guys won't watch the videos for hours. So I do try to keep them to about 15, 20 minutes. Again, you watch the videos, great. You don't, oh, well. Let me know how you like the videos, because if nobody's watching them, then I won't be posting them anymore. But yeah, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've missed. I'm kind of looking at my notes over here. Quizzes, December 6th. That is not a typo. Again, the quizzes need to be done. You guys are all adults. You need to be kind of on top of courses, own time management. As I said, I know sometimes life happens and, I got my assignment done. I didn't get the quiz done. So all the quizzes ultimately are due December 6th. Whether you do them, I highly, highly, highly recommend doing them now because your quizzes are based on the textbook. So if you're going to do an assignment of try to do a quiz in Thanksgiving on something that you read at the beginning of September, that may be difficult. Plus, as you can see in the syllabus, lack of internet service is not a reason, an excuse to miss an assignment or not have quizzes posted or anything like that. So if you all of a sudden you have internet trouble, if you're trying to complete them on, December 5th, you have internet problems, you'll get zeros on those assignments that were posted. And also keep in mind that, I don't try to be tough. I try to be flexible, but if you have an assignment that's going to be, if you email me and you need to post an assignment late, assignments need to be completed within 2 weeks because we don't need a snowball effect and all of a sudden you're behind on assignment after assignment after assignment. So you need to get that in as quickly as possible to keep up with class because, as I said, the assignments build upon one another. So as I said, if you want to write papers, write papers. If you're not a paper writer, I allow you to use other formats. Most people prefer to write papers because they think research papers and this is what I need to do and it's what they've been taught throughout their entire lives. The first assignment is always the hardest. I will be posting another video maybe later this week or next week about psychobiology specifically and the brain and talking a little bit about that. But yeah, I just wanted to introduce you guys and talk about the expectations in the class overall. Hopefully you've all found everything on Blackboard, but pretty much anything that is blank right now is going to be filled in as those assignments are getting ready to be worked on by you guys. So if you guys have any questions, you do have my email. And I look forward to working with all of you. I learned just as much from all of you as I try to give to you. So definitely, it's much more interesting when we're all working together and learning from each other and really working collaboratively. So if you do have any questions, feel free to email me. There's a lot of announcements that are going to be posted this week and early next week because I want to make sure that you have all of the information ahead of time. But after next week, things will slow down and assignments won't be posted as often. They'll be posted about every 10 days or so. So I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye.